misspelled. C, C, E, N, E.
Not in this particular program. Yeah, somebody asked, Glenn asked if it has a built-in spell checker,
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
and it does not.
It sort of does. It's not really very well documented. But if you were to invoke the edit menu while you're on this word, there is an option in there that says replace. And replace essentially suggests misspellings, but it does not do a document-wide check as you're used to with Microsoft Word or WordPerfect.
So what
It
you're
does it
saying
on a
is
word-by-word basis.
If you, do you have a microphone or no? Zuhair?
They're moving the
Oh, okay,
microphone
good.
around.
Yeah,
I want to make sure that people on the phone, what Zuhair was saying, that there is an edit mode that lets you go into a replace mode, and it'll actually give you suggestions for a given misspelled word, but you can't do a document check for all of your errors like you can with, more sophisticated spell checkers. I've never played with that, and when I get home, that's something I'm going to mess around with. Sounds like it would be a good thing for me to know about.
Yeah, I do it myself.
C, C, N, E,
It's,
A, 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 N, E, A,
All right, so now,
E, misspelled. N,
someone is saying I have two spaces.
A,
Now, I'll tell you what's confusing,
A,
and this is something it takes a little bit getting used to. For those of you who are Windows screen reader users, when you move letter by letter or word by word, you are always on the character that you're landing on. And if you type, you're always going to push that character to the right. So whether you're moving 3 words or 10 letters, it doesn't matter. Your cursor is always going to end up on the character that will be pushed to the right if you type. With the iDevices, the difference is significant in that if you arrow to the left, you're before the word or letter. If you arrow to the right, you're after the letter. And one of the things I keep doing now is I'm hitting the option right arrow, and I'm thinking I'm before the word, but I'm actually ending up after the word. So I'm actually finding that a little confusing myself because I've been working on a Windows PC all week, and this is a little bit different for me because I haven't taken notes with this maybe in a week, week and a half. So let me see if I can quickly and get this word fixed here for you guys.
A, I, F, F,
All right.
I, E, misspelled. C, C, N, Y, 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 capital M, Y, N, K, F, E, A, E, echo, A, E, E, F, E, N, Y, Y, A, N, A, A, N, E, A, A, misspelled, N, November, Y, Y, N, November, be here with all of you today, misspelled.
And what I'm showing you guys, and this is very interesting, you can tell all the notes I take, I email to myself. I don't edit them on this device. I email them to my PC, and I edit them using Windows. So I'm really good at taking notes on this. I am terrible at editing. And it just means if I really wanted to become good at actually, if I had to do final papers or let's say documents for my boss or something on this device, I would really have to practice using that before and after letter issue I was just talking about. But it's really confusing if you're not used to it because sometimes you're before the letter, sometimes you're after, depending on the direction you've moved. And I'm making a big deal of that because I don't want that to throw anyone or convince anyone not to do this. It's just something that if you practice with, it's fine. When I go to meetings, I just do a lot of writing, and there's a thing in here where you can email the note to yourself, and you get all the text, errors included, and that works out great.
There's actually, if I can input here,
Sure.
there's actually a very good article on maccessibility.net. That's www.macces, well, maccessibility, then the word accessibility.net, under the tutorial section that describes the cursor, how the cursor in Mac or iOS differs from the cursor in Windows. It describes it really well. That's what I read when I started using the iOS devices, because it got me confused too. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't want to delete that character. I wanted to delete the one to the left. And I read that article, and now I realize that the cursor is different between the two operating systems, and so it's. I still make mistakes myself. It takes a bit of getting used to. I have done editing on here, but yeah, it's definitely different than Windows.
And it's actually kind of neat because it's much more precise.
It is.
But if you're not used to it, it can really throw you, and I don't want to waste everybody's time. If I were home, I'd spend the next 10 minutes making this pristine just for the challenge, but I'm not going to waste everybody's time and do that. Sure.
Yeah, thank you. There's a lot of different places throughout the iPhone that you can actually go into edit mode, or you'd like to be able to go into edit mode, like in the search fields and text messaging and things like that. Does this keyboard, or this edit mode, work in every single one of the iPhone apps, or does it only work in the notes?
It'll work in. The keyboard will work in any.
July 16th, 1:53 p.m.
It'll work in any of the edit fields.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about all of the iOS devices. If you have an edit field in texting, or whether it's in Notes or Navigon or any field, or any application, this keyboard's going to work with it, because an edit box is an edit box. And if the developer has.
Good afternoon. Real Reads continues today at 2 p.m. inside room A10. Today's film is Jurassic Park, starring Samuel Jackson and Sam Neill. Directed by Steven Spielberg. Once again, that's at 2 o'clock inside room A10. Thank you.
Would you?
Please form an orderly line through the bar.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, not going.
Yeah, we just got an announcement for those on the phone about a film, Jurassic Park, is being played, I guess, somewhere in this building. I
Yeah,
don't know.
somewhere in here. Yeah.
But the nice thing is, if the developer has written the application properly and it works well with VoiceOver, any edit box you get to, you can turn quick navigation off, and you have this whole facility of being able to move by line, character, word, cut, copy, and paste. If you hold down Option and hit
Left or right arrow key.
left and right arrow, you'll move by word.
That works very well.
Yep. You can do Command X to cut text, Command C to copy, Command V to paste, just like Control X, C, and V will do it in Windows. It's really wonderful. So yeah, any edit box is going to work.
How do you turn on quick nav again?
Sorry, question from the phone. Would you repeat the question?
How do you turn on quick nav?
I didn't hear the question.
We can't hear the question. It's something to do with quick nav.
How do you turn it off and on?
How do you turn quick nav off and on?
Great question.
Yeah, it is.
On the keyboard, you hold the left and right. You hit the left and right arrow keys together.
Quick nav on.
There it goes.
It just said Quick Nav on, and I'm going to hit them together again.
Quick nav off.
Quick Nav off.
Yeah.
It's a toggle, and the great thing about that is you can turn Quick Nav on, quickly move to the edit box, then turn Quick Nav off, and just start, typing away.
Or if the edit box isn't selected and you want to edit, you can actually, if you move to it with QuickNav, if you press the up and down arrow keys at the same time to go into the edit box, it will automatically turn QuickNav off for you.
Good point.
Yeah, and that's the way I do it. And it seems to work fairly reliably.
Yep.
There's another question from the phone. Go ahead.
Okay,
So let me start with that. So if you're in a meeting and you're taking notes and you either have.
If you're in a meeting and taking notes,
Well, yeah, you guys can hear Venetia, right?
Yeah.
And you either have voiceover off or your headphones on. Okay, continue with the question. That, so your question is, when you're in a meeting taking notes, which option do you use? Or do you need voiceover off when you have your headphones on? Do you guys understand the question?
You definitely need voiceover on. Voiceover will work fine with your headphones.
I think that's what she was asking. She can't turn
So
voiceover on.
is your question, is the answer you have voiceover on when you have headphones on, the answer to your question?
You would have to wear your headset, otherwise you would disturb the music.
That's not what this doesn't work well that much now.
If I understand the question correctly, as a Skype user, in setting up whether or not you're going to use the computer's built-in microphone and speaker, that is an option that needs to be selected. If you're going to use a headset, it affords you the option of listening through the computer speaker, the headset speaker, and speaking into the mic. Does that answer your question?
Okay.
How do you select text using the keyboard?
I was alluding to that a little bit earlier. You select text by holding down I think Command A will select all the text.
Yep.
Command
You could shift.
Shift, I'm sorry, yeah,
Shift.
if you hold down the Shift key and then use either the arrow keys or the option left and right arrows, you can select by character or word, but you use the Shift key in the same way that you would in Windows. You're holding down the Shift key and left and right arrow is going to select a character at a time, and then Shift, Command left and right arrow, for example, would allow you to select a word at a time. And then you would use, of course, your Command X, Command C, Command V commands to either cut, copy, and then paste that selected text. Obviously, I'm not going to get into that. Demonstrating at the moment, I can't even fix a misspelled word here, so I don't want to press my luck here again. But you know, that shows how I use it. I do a lot of typing in meetings, and I just send raw text loaded with mistakes right to, there's a way to do that in email. It goes to my email box as a text file right in the email message, and then I can save it down and then bring it into Notepad or Ed Sharp, which I use a lot, or even Word if you want, and then I just do most of my editing right on the PC itself. So I don't do a lot of selecting of text on the iDevice, but you certainly can do it, and it does work.
I've done it, and it does work very well.
I should let you do that part.
Yeah.
You can fix my word here too.
You could, yeah. Yeah, you could easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will tell you guys, while Don's been talking, I've been up here occasionally, and Chris, you tweeted to me. I responded.
Yeah.
I've been actually tweeted. This answers your question, Glenn, earlier. I'm using a wireless Bluetooth keyboard connected to my phone and a Bluetooth headset, which is why you guys haven't heard my phone babbling, to tweet various things that people have been answering. Not my phone, you can't.
I can't hear it from here.
My phone?
No, I said I cannot hear it from here.
No, because I'm using a Bluetooth headset.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
No, I don't feel like that, but I just know what
You're in trouble now, buddy.
Husband and wife.
Well. Yes, ma'am.
And just FYI, she can hear you wherever you are.
I know. Maybe I should downgrade her iPod to iOS 4.0. No, I won't do that.
That's the message.